Welcome to the Grimdark Chronicles. Something of mystery, an information repository, and a place of history and bygone times. With the archival world of Calliope lost to heretical treachery, now only a few data repositories remain. Origins and first founding. The Salamanders were created during the first founding from the 18th Legion, assigned to the volcanic world of Nocturne. Their Primarch Vulcan instilled in them values of craftsmanship, resilience, and a unique duty to protect humanity. Unlike many Space Marine legions, the Salamanders maintain a deep, almost familial connection with their homeworld. They frequently return to Nocturne to recruit new warriors from its harsh landscape and honor its people. Their founding as protectors and warriors of humanity distinguished them within the Emperor's legions, emphasizing not just warfare but empathy and a dedication to shielding the innocent, a rare trait among the legions of the Imperium. The Primarch Vulcan, the Salamander's Primarch, stands out for his compassion and dedication to humanity's welfare. Known for his empathy, Vulcan insisted on defending the vulnerable, a philosophy that permeates the Salamander's culture. Vulcan was also a legendary craftsman, forging high-quality weapons and armor. This craftsmanship is evident in the Salamander's meticulous approach to their war gear, each warrior learning to create and maintain their own weapons, elevating each item to a symbol of pride and duty. Vulcan's tactical approach emphasized patience, resilience, and controlled power, with an affinity for flamers and melta weapons, reflecting his mastery over fire. His ideals of protection and craftsmanship shaped the Salamanders' approach to battle, tactics, and their interactions with civilians. The Great Crusade. During the Great Crusade, Vulcan and his Salamanders fought with determination, prioritizing humanity's safety over mere conquest. Their campaigns featured protracted sieges and defensive actions where their resilience and flame weaponry allowed them to withstand enemy assaults. They earned respect not only for their strength, but for their integrity, often going to lengths to protect civilians on worlds they reclaimed. In Vulcan's presence, they were relentless defenders of humanity, embodying the Emperor's vision of a united Imperium through protective warfare. This ethos positioned the Salamanders as more than conquerors, winning the loyalty of those they defended and exemplifying Vulcan's compassion, even amid the Crusade's most brutal conflicts. The Horus Heresy. The Horus Heresy brought devastating losses to the Salamanders, particularly at the drop site massacre on Istvan V. Betrayed alongside the Raven Guard and Iron Hands, the Salamanders suffered near annihilation. Vulcan vanished after the massacre, leaving his legion to recover without his leadership. This event reinforced their brotherhood, uniting them through shared tragedy and an intensified resolve to safeguard the Imperium. The heresy left the Salamanders more introspective, strengthening their resolve and self-reliance, as they restructured their strategies to reflect both their defensive ethos and their wariness of betrayal. Their loyalty to the Emperor and commitment to Vulcan's ideals saw them evolve into a resilient chapter, capable of withstanding significant losses while remaining steadfast defenders of humanity. Rebuilding after the heresy. The Salamanders faced a slow, methodical rebuild after the heresy due to their heavy losses and Vulcan's absence. Unlike other legions, they did not create multiple successor chapters in the second founding, choosing instead to focus on strengthening their numbers. Recruitment continued exclusively from Nocturne, where the volcanic environment produced hardy and resilient candidates suited to the Salamanders' rigorous standards. Their isolation allowed them to focus on perfecting their tactics, wargear, and traditions. Over time, the Salamanders established a niche as expert defenders, utilizing their superior craftsmanship and flame weaponry to create a tactical style centered on endurance and defensive warfare, securing critical worlds from the Imperium's enemies. Notable battles that defined the Salamanders include the Siege of Nocturne, where they repelled an invasion using the planet's volcanic terrain to their advantage. Their victory demonstrated their defensive expertise and ability to turn even the most hostile environments to their favor. The Battle of Pyre's Reach showcased their endurance against overwhelming odds, highlighting their effectiveness in drawn-out conflicts. The Drop Site Massacre, though a defeat, solidified their unwavering loyalty to the Emperor and reinforced their self-sacrificial nature, a defining aspect of their identity and approach to warfare. Gene Seed Strengths and Flaws. The Salamander's Gene Seed is one of the most stable among the Space Marine chapters, free from mutations that affect others. Unique to the Salamanders, however, is an increase in melanin production, which gives them jet black skin and red eyes, a source of pride that symbolizes their connection to Vulcan and Nocturne. Their Gene Seed also enhances endurance and pain tolerance, critical in their approach to drawn-out, defensive battles. While their slower recruitment rate and selectiveness in candidates limit their numbers, their resilience, strength, and precise recruitment make each warrior a formidable asset on the battlefield. Successor chapters. Unlike other legions, the Salamanders produced few successor chapters due to their diminished size after the heresy. The most notable successor, the Storm Giants, share the Salamanders' defensive strengths and use of flame weaponry. Though fewer in number, these successors retain a strong connection to the Salamanders, following Vulcan's legacy in their dedication to humanity and their artisanal approach to wargear, upholding the Salamanders' values across the Imperium. Ancient allies and enemies. The Salamanders have long-standing alliances with key Imperial forces, especially the Adeptus Mechanicus, due to their mutual respect for craftsmanship. The Mechanicus values the Salamanders' reverence for technology, while the Salamanders benefit from access to advanced wargear. Their approach to protecting civilians sometimes puts them at odds with other, more pragmatic Space Marine chapters like the Imperial Fists, who prioritize strategy over civilian safety. Their primary enemies are the traitor legions, who betrayed them at Istvan V, as well as Genos races, especially Orcs, Eldar, and Necrons, with whom they frequently clash to defend Imperial worlds. Significant role in Imperial conflicts. The Salamanders have been instrumental in significant campaigns, notably during the Scoring, where they played a key role in reclaiming the galaxy from traitors post-heresy. They were also crucial defenders in Abaddon's Black Crusades, using defensive tactics to hold back Chaos forces and prevent Imperial losses. Their tactical expertise, coupled with their flame weaponry, made them invaluable in campaigns that required holding critical positions or protecting Imperial assets, marking them as steadfast defenders of humanity. Chapter Mythology and the Emperor. The Salamanders revere the Emperor as a leader and protector, rather than a god, reflecting Vulcan's humility and reverence for life. Unlike more zealous chapters, their faith is expressed through actions, defending humanity and upholding Vulcan's ideals. They honor the Emperor by ensuring civilians' safety and adhering to Vulcan's vision of compassion and resilience, valuing their deeds as the true reflection of their loyalty. Legends of the chapter's founding heroes, the Salamanders' mythology is dominated by Vulcan, whose legendary resilience and craftsmanship inspire every member. Tales of his survival in harsh conditions and his quest for perfection in forging weapons are central to their culture. Forge Father Vulcan, he stands eternal quest to retrieve 7 relics of Vulcan symbolizes the chapter's faith in his return and connects their spiritual beliefs to their martial traditions. Chapter reforms and traditions. The Salamanders retain unique traditions outside the Codex Astartes, including recruiting exclusively from Nocturne, which strengthens their cultural identity. The Promethean cult, a philosophy centering on fire as both a destructive and creative force, is integral to their rituals. This belief system guides their spiritual practices, reinforcing their commitment to craftsmanship, resilience, and self-improvement. Relics and artifacts. The Salamanders hold sacred relics like Vulcan's sigil and the Hammer of Vulcan, powerful symbols of their heritage. Forge Father he stands quest to retrieve Vulcan's 7 sacred artifacts is a mission of faith, embodying the Salamanders' devotion to their Primarch. These relics serve as tangible links to their past, with each weapon and piece of armor crafted to embody Vulcan's legacy and the Salamanders' artisanal pride. Role in Terra's defense, or the Imperium. The Salamanders are dedicated to defending the Imperium, often stationed in strategic sectors near Nocturne. While not always present on Terra, their defensive prowess has made them vital in numerous campaigns, particularly those requiring steadfast defense of vital worlds or Imperial infrastructure. Their presence in these battles upholds the stability of the Imperium's borders, fortifying areas against Chaos and Xenos threats. The Apothecarium and Gene secrets. The Salamanders' Apothecarium ensures the purity of their gene seed, preserving Vulcan's legacy through meticulous genetic care. Apothecaries uphold strict standards to avoid genetic degradation, balancing biological strength with the symbolic importance of their heritage. This care allows the Salamanders to maintain their identity and combat efficiency across generations, continuing their Primarch's vision without compromise. Combat doctrine. The Salamanders emphasize heat-based weaponry such as flamers, melta-guns, and multi-meltas, which excel in close-quarters combat and siege warfare. Their tactics are defined by patient, deliberate assaults with an emphasis on resilience. They endure enemy fire with heavily armored units, creating controlled kill zones to manage the battlefield. Their resilience and preference for attrition warfare make them ideal for defensive roles, where endurance and precise timing are key. Elite units and dreadnoughts. The Fire Drakes, Salamanders' elite terminators, serve as unbreakable vanguards in the most challenging battles, equipped with power hammers and storm shields. Dreadnoughts like venerable Brother Braith Ashmantle are revered as living relics, bringing immense firepower and symbolizing the chapter's endurance and strength. These elite units reflect the Salamander's values, emphasizing resilience and lethal close combat effectiveness. Weapons and armor. Salamanders' weaponry and armor showcase their craftsmanship, with each piece custom, forged as both art and tool. Their signature heat-based weaponry and drake-scale cloaks provide protection and symbolize their volcanic heritage. The hammer of Vulcan and other master-crafted weapons are powerful, functional relics that honor Vulcan's ideals and underscore the Salamanders' martial and spiritual connection to their Primarch. Fleet and space combat. Their fleet is smaller but powerful, specializing in precise deployment of ground forces. Battle barges and strike cruisers allow for rapid response and efficient orbital support, with melta torpedoes and bombardment cannons capable of obliterating enemy strongholds. Their fleet tactics focus on precision strikes, enabling swift reinforcement of vital worlds and blending space combat with their ground operations to maximize impact. This efficient use of firepower and rapid deployment reflects their approach to war: deliberate, controlled, and deadly.